Just a reminder before today's programme, the previous instalment of the Now Review is still available to view, where we took a look at Now Dance 2001. And now, here on AMTV, we continue the Now Dance journey on the Now Review. Hi there guys, it's Adam Martyn here, and welcome back to another instalment of the Now Review. We are indeed going to continue the Now Dance journey, and we have entered the year 2002. And as you can see, like our last episode where we looked at Now Dance 2001, 2002 was heralded by 2 CD releases, not just one. So we have Now Dance 2002 and Now Dance 2002 Part 2. So as always, let's begin with the chronological beginning. Let's take a look at Now Dance 2002 Part 1. So here is the CD, as you can see, and in terms of the cover art, I do actually quite like it. It's a very bold mix of like yellow and orange, and the white text of the logo stands out really well. They're still using this sort of 90s tube design for the Now Dance logo, which I've always liked. I think you guys know this by now. I just think that tubing design is so synonymous with like dance music, especially that era of dance music, the culture of dance music, if you like. So yeah, very striking colour really. But with a strong cover aside, does it have the track list to match? Let's flick on over to the all-important track list and take a look. So as you can see from this first bit, you got Kylie Minogue, Can't Get You Out of My Head. That was a massive, big hit, not just on the dance charts, but the pop charts as well. You've got people like Jamiroquai, Basement Jaxx, people who were popping off back then. 5, oh lordy, 5. DJ Otzi with Hey Baby, which is a remake of an old song, but literally every school disco I went to growing up, Hey Baby was bound to be there. It still gets played a lot now, and it's a pretty decent remake for the dancehall. And Jerry Halliwell with It's Raining Men, her cover's not too bad. I think the original by the Weather Girls is better, but that one is still pretty decent. You got Entrance as well, and Fragma. And looking at the second half of it, you got bands like Blue, who, are they around anymore? Blue, I can't remember. Atomic Kitten with their cover version of Eternal Flame, which was originally done by the Bangles. Of course, this is a remix of sorts. You got Victoria Beckham. This was when the Spice Girls were doing all their solo stuff. I mean, you had Jerry Halliwell earlier. Now you've got Victoria Beckham. Was never a fan of her solo stuff, to be honest with you. You got Atomic Kitten again with Whole Again, which I'm pretty sure appeared on the last Now Dance. Was it in Now Dance 2001? I could be wrong. I just remember seeing that, but that is a remix of it. Lovers in the Air, nice, good banger. DJ Otzi's on it again with Do Wah Diddy, not too familiar with that one. And this one finishes off with Backyard Dog and Baddest Roughest. So a 21-track extravaganza on disc 1. Moving over to disc 2, you've got the Gorillaz, you've got Jean-Jacques Smoothie, you've got Daft Punk, great guys there, Planet Funk, Chocolate Puma, Party 1 versus In Excess, that's a nice mix there. Kellis, who was, again, becoming big at this time. Fatboy Slim, who was having hit after hit after hit. The Chemical Brothers, again, Silicon Soul. And then on the second half, you got Raven Maze, you got Trisco, Dirty Vegas. I must admit, there's not that much I'm recognizing on CD2. Maybe this is the more like dance-heavy stuff, less of like the pop integration. Because bear in mind, guys, in 2002, I was 6. So I wasn't into hardcore dance at that point. Although looking at the copyright information, this actually came out in 2001. So they're following that style where this release was probably issued to stores late in 2001 to usher in 2002. So a pretty solid track list. Again, like I said, I'm more familiar with Disc 1 than I am with Disc 2, which sometimes happens, so I think it's that familiarity you've got to bear in mind when you pick this up. But let's crack open this disc, shall we? So as you can see, it's a plain orange disc with the logo on the left and the disc number on the right, and I've always been a fan of these more plain disc designs, and Disc 2 is the same, as you can see. And you can see in the middle, they've gone for the cover art, but without the logo, which is pretty standard on a lot of these Now Dance releases and a lot of Now albums in general. So that, in a brief summary, is Now Dance 2002 Part 1. It's a decent album, but again, for me, it's definitely not one of the best, considering the vast majority of tracks on Disc 2 I don't really recognise. And again, that's just probably preference or knowledge, but the tracks on Disc 1 that I do recognise are absolute smash hits. But that's the first part of Now Dance 2002. We now have to move on to the second release. So here it is, the second release, Now Dance 2002 Part 2, and looking at this cover, this is a lovely cover. I've always been a big fan of blue, it's one of my favourite colours, and this is just A gorgeous cover design, a nice mix of darker tones of blue and lighter tones of blue. You can see the little dotted design in the background, which is continuing on from the first part, so a nice bit of continuity there. The white colour of the logo is just popping out here, again using that tube design, just slanted a different way, but I absolutely love this. This is definitely one of my favourite covers from the Now Dance series. The part 2 is nice that it's small and it's in the corner, but I think if that wasn't there, that would be even better. But yeah, this is just a really gorgeous cover. I like that. But now let's flick over to the all-important track list. And wow, look at this. They have actually changed the way they list the tracks. No longer 2 columns. Now you've almost got this sort of paragraph style, which I think I've always preferred the columns. But saying that, for my camera, it's actually better. So let's have a look. CD1. You've got DB Boulevard, Kylie Minogue again with In Your Eyes, Sophie Ellis-Bextor with Murder on the Dance Floor, classic tune. I forgot how early that was in terms of being 2002. Jamiroquai, Alcazar with Crying at the Discotheque. That's a great song, like the last remnants of 90s Eurodance, I think. And also, funnily enough, Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Murder on the Dance Floor woman herself, has just done a cover of Crying at the Discotheque. I think I prefer the Alcazar original, but it's funny that she decided to remake that. But you got A1, who were big at the time, Smoke 27, Lasago, lot of good artists on here. Jerry Halliwell's there again, Flip and Phil, you start to see them appear a few times as well. DJ Alligator, and finishing with Leanne Rimes with But I Do Love You. I must admit, not as many tracks I recognise on part 2 as I did on part 1, or disc 1 of part 1. Which is a shame, but to me this seems to be, I can't tell if this is mainly still like pop chart music or if they are straying more into dance territory, but Crying at the Discotheque and Murder on the Dance Floor, big bangers in their own right. CD2 now, you've got Daniel Bedingfield, gotta get through this, that's a classic one. Aliyah with More Than a Woman, you've got Addicted to Bass by Pure Tone, that was a big hit at the time, I remember that. Jennifer Lopez is on here. Blue, they're still going strong. You got Daft Punk again, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, one of their most iconic songs, arguably made more famous when Kanye would adapt it a few years later. Basement Jaxx, Where's Your Head At? I think we all know that one, especially here in the UK. And we're finishing this one with Oris J. Parts Del Cena with Trippin', not really familiar with that one. Again, not as many tracks I recognise on here, but still, the ones I do recognise are absolutely solid hits. But I'll give my final recommendations in a minute. Let's crack this bad boy open and have a look at the disc. And now this is a disc design I can get behind. Just a nice white disc with the text being the colour matching the logos, in this case blue. CD1 being nice and strong. And I actually like that the Now Dance 2002 part isn't the main logo that you see on the front. I find it nice just having it as ordinary text here. So yeah, and it's the same for disc 2 as you can see. So yeah, this is a disc design I can get behind. And unlike the first part, when you look at the middle picture there, they've actually just left the logo on. They haven't taken it off. I wondered why they decided to do that and change that sort of established tradition, but hey, it's there. So yeah, Now Dance 2002 Part 2 again, I'm recognising less and less, but some really solid hits on this one. So when you compare both albums, which one reigns superior, it's a really tough call for me personally, because I'd argue overall I recognise less on Part 2, but the ones I do recognise are probably my favourites compared to Part 1. I'd have to say Part 1 for value, though. There's probably just a bit more on there for me that I could get behind. Obviously, in terms for you guys, I mean, yes, if you collect this stuff, then you're going to pick it up. But in terms of dance music, if you like that early 2000s, like pop and dance mix, then I think you'll like both of these albums. You can get them on CD for dirt cheap. I got both of these for less than £1 each off Music Magpie, but you can probably get them in CEX or charity shops. They're very widely available. I don't think these got cassette releases. I think this is when they stopped. Please, anyone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the Now Dance series continued on to cassette at this point. So you're really only going to get these on CD. They've probably moved them to download as well. Surely they must have done. But yeah, CD's your best bet. But that's all for this installment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like on the video and leave your comments below. Let me know, do you own either of these two parts of Now Dance 2002? And if so, what format do you own them on? Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. And until the next one, I will see you guys next time. A massive thank you to our producer and director patrons for your support towards us here at AMTV. You just help keep us going, and that's massively appreciated. And that does bring us to the end of another evening here on AMTV. We hope you enjoyed the programme, and we hope to see you next time. Good night.